All right, for this explainer, we're going to do something a little different. We're stepping away from the usual data and diving into something much older, a parable. It's a powerful story about that fundamental tug of war inside all of us, the battle between our own potential for greatness and that siren song of just living a comfortable, easy life.
So our story unfolds in 5 main acts. We're going to start with a pretty high-stakes cosmic bet, and then we'll break down the 2 possible futures for humanity that hang in the balance. Then we'll get into this really sneaky strategy called the frenzy of stagnation and see how it all plays out in a battle for our souls right in the marketplace. And finally, we'll face the big choice this story puts in front of every single one of us.
Okay, so our story doesn't start on Earth. It kicks off on a cosmic stage. You've got these 2 immense archetypal forces, Yahweh and Baal, and they're locked in this timeless debate about what humanity is really all about. It actually really echoes that famous wager between God and Mephistopheles in Goethe's Faust.
So Yahweh's position is one of deep faith in us. He believes we are defined by this German concept, Streben. It means this constant, restless, upward striving. In his eyes, even when we mess up, it's not a failure. It's just part of the essential struggle that helps us grow.
But Baal? He's not buying it for a second. He just scoffs. He looks down and sees humanity as just tired. He argues that if you give people a choice, they will always pick comfort over creation, the easy path over the great one. And he is so sure of this, he wants to make a bet to prove it.
And just like that, the wager is on. The terms are officially set, and humanity's entire destiny now hangs on this one epic question. Are we going to reach for our highest potential, or are we going to settle for just comfortable mediocrity?
So this cosmic wager presents 2 completely different paths forward for humanity. Let's really dig into the 2 potential outcomes at the heart of this thing because they represent 2 fundamentally different ways of living. And here you can see the 2 futures just laid bare. On one side, Yahweh is betting on the path of the Übermensch, the Overman or Superman. This is a being who lives for creation, who embraces risk, and is all about constant self-overcoming. And on the other side, Baal is betting on the last man, a creature totally content with a life of comfort, security, and, well, ultimately stagnation.
This image, wow. It just perfectly captures our place in this whole drama. We're not some final destination. We are the bridge. We're that perilous rope stretched over a giant abyss, suspended somewhere between what we are right now and what we could become.
Now, this brings us to the core of Baal's strategy. And let me tell you, it is so much more clever than just encouraging people to be lazy. This is the central, insidious twist in the whole parable.
I mean, it sounds like a total contradiction, right? How can you be constantly striving, constantly working, but also be stagnating? Well, this very paradox is the absolute genius of Baal's deceptive plan. And here is the terrifying answer. See, Baal doesn't try to stamp out our will to strive. He hijacks it. He corrupts it. He takes all that energy, all that frantic effort, and he redirects it into a meaningless hamster wheel. The endless chase for more comfort, more security. It's perpetual motion that goes absolutely nowhere.
Now, to pull this off, Baal needs an agent on the ground, so he anoints a prophet. But the power he gives him isn't some divine spark of creation. No, it's a corrupting lightning bolt of manic energy, a false momentum designed to fool everyone into thinking that their busyness is the same thing as greatness. And so this cosmic wager comes crashing down to Earth. The battlefield is set, the marketplace, the very heart of human society. This is where the struggle for our collective soul is either going to be won or lost. So Baal's prophet starts preaching this corrupted gospel, and it sounds kind of familiar, doesn't it? Hustle, grind, work harder. But the goal here isn't greatness. It's just accumulation. More stuff, more security. He brilliantly convinces the crowd that this frantic consumerism is their highest purpose. But just then, a challenger appears. He's called the Ascendant, and he is the embodiment of true striving. He shows up and immediately sees right through the whole charade. He calls out this false frenzy for what it really is, a beautiful cage, a trap designed to make mediocrity look like a virtue. And this, right here, is the most critical insight of the whole story. The people aren't lazy. In fact, they're exhausted. They're working harder than ever. They have absolutely chosen the struggle, but they've been tragically tricked into aiming all that effort downward, fighting a battle for safety instead of a war for greatness. So this clash in the marketplace, it boils everything down to the ultimate choice.
And it's not just a choice for the people in the story, it's for every single one of us, right here, right now.
The ascendant then lays out the true path. It all starts with longing, that deep, aching feeling that there's got to be more than this. That longing ignites a frenzy, but not a frenzy to buy things. This is a powerful, creative will to build. That fire then fuels creation, the actual act of forging your potential into a bridge across that abyss. And finally, overcoming, the courageous act of actually making that dangerous crossing yourself.
And this really gets to the fundamental difference. The goal of real striving isn't to get to some safe harbor at the end. The purpose, the real reward, it's found in the struggle itself, in the act of building and creating and overcoming.
This slide just encapsulates the entire lesson perfectly. Baal's corrupted frenzy is like a spinning top. It's a whirlwind of energy, but it's stuck in one place. True creative frenzy? Well, that's an arrow in flight, launched with purpose toward a horizon that doesn't even exist until you create it.
And so, the cosmic wager is passed down to you. The question this parable leaves us with isn't, are you busy, or are you working hard? The real question is, where is your arrow aimed? Is it pointing down at the dirt of immediate gain, or is it aimed at the vast, open sky of your own potential?